Hey, what's up everyone? This is my first YouTube video I've ever made, and I decided I'm just going to do it by plasti dipping my wheels. It's a 2009 Subaru WRX wagon. I've only had it since about November. I used to have the wheels white, but took them off because I got sick of it. It got really dirty, and so left them stock for the last couple months now. Alright, so yeah, anyway, so Plasti Dip does get a lot of hate. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a Metalizer and a Glossifier on my Plasti Dip, because if you just use the normal black, it does look a little just trashy and bad. I have done this before on my previous cars and on my friends' cars, you know, random people in high school or whatever. But if I found out that if you use both of these together in a combination, it actually does give it like a really good effect, and it does add more like of a top coat on top of it. It does make it a little bit better, just in my personal experience. So yeah, I'm going to use these. I have 4 cans of black, just 1 can of this Metalizer, and 1 can of this Glossifier. Right now I'm getting the car up on jack stands. Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, well, I'm going to get the car up on jack stands so I can get the wheels off, and then I'll get going. So next up, we're just going to go wash the wheels. Nothing too crazy. I'm just going to take them into the backyard, spray them off. I can only do 2 at a time right now, just because I only have 2 jack stands. The other 2 are just gone. Yeah, if you can see in here, you know, I've got some Kind Flex Z coilovers on this. I don't have them lowered too much. It's not slammed because I like it to be drivable. I did paint the calipers gold. But a really cool thing I like that you can see over here. Right underneath the car. Just want to take a look. See my awesome downpipe, 3-inch downpipe. It is catted. It's an NVIDIA catted downpipe. It's a full 3-inch exhaust all the way back. It's pretty awesome. I love it. Anyways, let's go get these wheels washed real quick. Sucks pretty bad. I'm trying to do it with 1 hand. Yeah, see, the original color does not look too bad. Now we're gonna try and get these all nice and clean. I gotta go grab a bucket. Alright, so I'm just gonna grab some soap real quick. The wheels look a lot lighter on camera. They're pretty dark gray in real life. Alright, so sorry my neighbor decided to mow the lawn right as soon as I started filming this video. So I apologize for that background noise, but when you're drying your wheels, you want to make sure you just get all inside of your little lug holes. And like, you see how these rims, how they have these little lines right here? You want to make sure you get inside all of those, make sure they all get dry, get all the grime and grease, especially built up right here. Like if you see, I missed just a bit. So you just want to make sure you clean all those up. So yeah. Alright, so I'm just getting my first can ready right now. Just gotta shake it up. Yeah, so I just put a little towel down underneath them. Alright, so I think I'm gonna do about 5 to 6 coats of black. And then I will probably do 2 coats of some wetted Metalizer and some Glossifier. So wetted means that when the last coat is wet, I'm not gonna let it like sit for 10 minutes. Just as soon as I finish that last coat, I'm gonna come right away with the Glossifier and the Metalizer. I'll do them both at the same time. It usually gives it a pretty cool effect doing it that way, and it builds, it probably doesn't, but to me it feels like it gives a stronger just top coat on them. Now when you're doing this, you just want to do really light coats. You don't want it to build up at all. And if you see I'm building it up too much in the middle there. Alright, so that's the first coat on that one. Move on to the next one. Alright, so I'm just going to repeat that process about 5 times. Alright, so what I'm just going to do real quick is I'm just going to show you how I did it. So basically the first thing that I do is I just take the can, and I'll make sure it's all shaken up. Make sure it's all shaken up, and then I'm just going to spray a big circle around just to make sure I get it all covered. And then the next thing I hit is these insides. Right in there. You just go one at a time. Remember where you started. I like to start, because see how it's got the little marking right there, where you could use the air stem too. But I usually start there, and I'll do the insides of it. Step to the left, 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 so on and so forth, all the way around the wheel. And you make sure that you get all the inside edges, and then you finally go into the face. Because I feel like most of the time you miss and you end up getting some on the face, and if you do the face beforehand, then when you go to do the sides, it'll just get really runny and it'll build up too fast. Alright, to show you guys what I mean when I say go each individual thing at a time, like in between each spoke at a time, I'll show you what I mean by that. So far I've just done the inside of these two right here. So I'll show you how I do this part. Just spray like that on that side, and then I come over on this side to get a better angle. Just do that. You just do that all the way around the wheel. And make sure you get inside there. And if you notice, see, I'm not going and doing the face of the wheel yet. That's just to prevent it from dripping. Because if you build too much on, just like if any type of paint, it'll start to drip. And you don't want that. Just take your time and go around. Make sure you get every spot. You don't want any parts not covered, because that'll make taking off the plastic a bitch. Alright, yeah, so I'll show you guys once I do the top coat. Alright, so it's 5 coats later. I'm just getting ready to do my last coat. I'm going to do that thing that I told you about earlier. I'll show you how it's done in just a second. But like I mentioned, I'm just going to use the Metalizer here first, and I'm just going to do a really wet coat everywhere along the rim. Now with this, it works a little bit differently along with the Glossifier. It's not like normal Plasti Dip, how you have to cover and make sure everything does. This is more of like a duster, because all it does is just sprays metal flakes. So as long as you get the metal flakes sprayed evenly along the car, that's all that you really need to make sure you do. Okay, so I just finished the last and 6th coat, the final coat of black that we'll be doing on these wheels. And now that they're still wet, I just barely finished spraying them like 5 seconds ago. All you do is you just take your Metalizer right here. It's pre-shaken up, so shake the can for a couple minutes before it gets ready. And then all you do is you just mist it on. Now I'm not going to be watching the camera. I'm just going to do it myself. So now you see how this right here, compared to the black, it's more of like a mist. It doesn't really have like a thick layer of paint that's coming out onto it. Do this now with the Glossifier top coat. With the Glossifier top coat, you do want to do it similar to the Metalizer. It's kind of a hybrid in between normal paint and like the metal flakes that Plasti Dip offers. So this one right here is not necessarily mist, but you do want to make sure you get full coverage on this. Finger's getting tired. Gotta use my thumb. Yeah, that's one thing about Plasti Dipping is that fingers never get used to it, unless you're a manly man, not like myself. There. All right, so I'll let this sit for about 10, 15 minutes. It is warm outside. Now, I don't know if you can really see that on the camera, the way I'm standing in this light. It is kind of dark outside now. But if you just look at it, like these angles, you can start to see the metal flake. It does give it a lot better finish than just a flat black. You know, I usually do about 2 coats of this metalizer and the pearlizer together. That's like a safe way to get full coverage and not do too much, not do too little. Just give it the perfect amount, because you know, on wheels you don't really want too many sparkles. It's not really like paint, and the Glossifier does kind of bring that out. So alright, so this right here is going to be the final coat that we're going to do on the wheels, and then we'll move on to the back. I'm not going to film that just because it'll be the same process, but I will show you guys the final results of the whole car tomorrow morning once it's light outside. But anyway, so this is the final coat. We are going to do the metalizer and the pearlizer again, not the pearlizer, the Glossifier again. With the metalizer, I am going to go a little bit heavier because all the flakes aren't showing as much as I do want it to, so I'm going to hurry and do that real quick. Yeah, so these do look actually pretty good. I'm just going to move on to the Glossifier now. So it looks like we're getting the metal shine that I'm looking for. It is just a little bit low in some places, so I'm just going to touch it up in areas that it needs it. But when you're doing this, it's all about personal preference, just how much shine you want in your wheels. I like a lot of shine just because shiny wheels make me happy. Alright, when you're doing this, you want to remember just to make sure that you're keeping the metal flakes even, because the metal flakes will build up in places that you hold it for too long, and then it does make some areas of the wheel shinier than the others. So when I'm doing the metal flakes, I do like to stay more so on the face of the wheel, because the sparkles don't matter too much on the insides. You already covered that with the black Plasti Dip. With the Glossifier, you do want to cover everywhere, but with the metalizer, it is not as important. I mean, if you do want to cover the full wheel, be more than happy to, but I more so just focus on the face of the wheel, just to make sure that it has that shine that I want it to, because the flat black Plasti Dip wheels just tend to look bad, especially as time goes on, and dirt builds up to them, you can't fully clean them. These 2 top coats, they definitely help with that. They don't make the surface as rough, and you know, dirt doesn't really get stuck to it as much. So I like to use these, that's why. Alright, so if you can see this now, I'm trying to get the light to shine on it well. Now, if you look closely enough, I guess you can kind of see that it doesn't really show up very well on the camera. But yeah, so these are the final coat right here. Now it's time to let them dry. They do have to dry for about an hour before you can put them back on the car. Alright, so fast forward to the next day. The wheels have sat overnight, so it looks like they're all cured now. I'm just going to go ahead and put these last 2 back on the car, and then I'll go show it off. Alright everyone, so I just took the car off the jack stands, got the wheels back on and everything, and it honestly looks a lot better than I thought it would. I did do this before on one of my older cars, like I said earlier, but it didn't turn out this well. I'm just going to show you guys real quick. Now it really makes the blue look a lot better. I like it a lot better than the white that I did before. Hear my exhaust. But yeah, oh yeah, look at this side. If you look at this side in the light, Hey everyone, so thanks for watching my video. I got the car back in the garage now. Wheels turned out really good. I'm really loving this. I recommend anyone try this if you just want a quick, cheap, easy thing. The cans are like $7, $8 maybe a piece, and I just buy them at Lowe's or Pet Boys or wherever. But yeah, anyways, there's one last thing I just want to show you guys. That right here. This. I'm sure you all know what this is. This is a turbo and turbo manifold. It's going on a Honda Accord. I am going to make videos of it, so if you want to see more, you know, just stick around. I'm definitely going to be posting videos of this.